Dave and Chewy. Broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamora. Here's Jen Latta.
What a day yesterday for the Crew. What a great start to the season for your Milwaukee Brewers. Didn't start out great yesterday, admittedly. Our guy Brandon Sproat really struggled on the mound, Chew. But the Brewers, who were down 7-2 at one point, they were down by as many as 5 runs, pushed one across in the 6th, and then had a 6-run 8th inning, capped off by the first ever pinch hit home run from Christian Yelich. Here's what it sounded like.
Here's the 2-2 pitch. Yelich, a high drive, deep right, down the line, fair, and gone! Christian Yelich, a 3-run blast. And the Brewers have come all the way back in the 8th inning. It is 9-.
And where are the Cubs?
They're 1-2. 1-2.
Oh, okay.
Lost a couple games to the Nationals. Former Brewers legend Joey Wiemer apparently got on base all 8 at-bats, all 8 plate appearances that he had. Wow. He was finding himself on base for the Nationals, terrorizing the Chicago Cubs. So, yes, that is fantastic. But, again, a 6-run... I'm watching that game yesterday, Chew, and it's like, okay, well, you took 2 out of 3 in the first series. They can't all go your way. There's the Homer saying is there's always a raisin in the trail mix. When you're talking about a bad baseball game, there's 162 of these things. You took 2 of the first 3, nothing to hang your head about. And then the 6-run 8th inning happened, and our guy was there.
Who, Joshy?
You betcha, brother.
Getting another tattoo?
No tattoos this time.
Okay.
Can you
Just
imagine
some ball?
Just a tattoo every time you went to a Brewers game this year?
That'd be tough.
That'd be. I saw him putting the ointment on the tattoo this morning before we came down.
A little itchy.
Yeah, again, I can't imagine getting a tattoo every time you go to a Brewers game because I've got a feeling Josh has got plenty of plans to be heading to the old ballpark this year.
Yeah, I still don't understand why national pundits or whatever don't like this lineup. This lineup's pretty darn good. Yeah, they might be a little light on the dingers, but you can't count them out.
They still had plenty of dingers. They had 2 yesterday. They hit, a couple on opening day. They're still, Are they going to lead the league in home runs? No. They don't have somebody that's going to sit there and hit 40 home runs like some of these lineups. But it's pretty balanced all the way through, man. And Trevor McGill talked about it. He closed it down, got his first save of the season yesterday for the Brewers. He talked about it after the game where he's like, I can understand why other pitchers get frustrated facing our offense. Because you got to throw 5, 6, 7 pitches to every single guy. And that gets tiring.
It's pretty frustrating having to throw 7 pitches to every damn hitter. Definitely wears on some guys, and that's kind of just what we do here is never quit and put together great at-bats and, get what you get and go with it. So proud of those guys, too. They pull together.
Yeah, you need games like this, though. Because it typically comes down, not last year, but a lot of times it comes down to 1, 2, or 3 games that separate 1 from 2, and they kind of stole this one, but you need a handful. They're going to lose some the other way.
And they're going to,
yes, baseball.
Yeah, you're going to blow a game that you think you should win. You're going to blow a couple of saves, but man, it's just something about starting the season. And look, like you said, Chew, it's 3 games. 3-game winning streaks are going to happen. Everybody has them throughout but there's something about starting the season 3-0. It's just a little different. It just stands out. You feel pretty good about that, starting good old 3-0.
How was the crowd, Joshy? Still pretty full?
The pop for Yelich going up to pinch hit was incredible.
Oh, they were chanting for him.
Yes, the crowd was chanting Yelich.
Yelich.
As he was up to bat. And then from there, once he hit that, and he pimped the bleep out of that.
Well,
that was one of the coolest home runs I've ever seen. He dropped his bat, turned towards
the dugout,
and gave an LFG, and then rounded the. I've never seen him do that. That's not typically his style.
Because he's not the emotional guy.
What's an LFG?
Let's
bleep and go. Yeah. So, I mean, it was awesome. A ton of White Sox fans there, but it definitely still way more heavily Brewers fans. I just think they found a day where people. I think there was like 32,000 that it said.
Okay.
It had a great buzz. I mean, we walked in shortly before first pitch, and I mean the lines were long. There's people everywhere. I was excited to see that because I didn't know, like, from the opening day, if you go a little too hard, you might be, well, I can't go back there.
Well, in Saturday, they had the giveaway. We talked about it on opening day. They had the stadium replica giveaway that people were going crazy for.
Yeah.
Right? So a bunch of people went on Saturday as well. So, yeah, you just don't know, okay, Sunday. And then look, it was a Sunday lineup, all right? It was a Sunday lineup.
I saw we go to a local establishment to take the shuttle there, and I saw the lineup come through, and I said, "Oh, the triple catcher lineup." I don't see that one very often. That's not usually
one catcher's playing first, one's actually catching, the other's DHing.
And hey, one of the catcher at first had a home run.
Oh, that was a tank.
Yeah. That was a laser.
Well, and they need, because there was also, again, bad news over the weekend, Chu. I don't know if you saw
what was that
this.
about? I didn't understand that on your text chain.
So Andrew Vaughn broke his hand.
Okay.
So Andrew Vaughn, and credit to Vaughn, because he's not quite sure when it happened. Chu, I think you would love this guy. Like, if you hear this guy talk, I think he's just like, so he thinks it happened in the first at-bat because he got jammed. A lot of times you get jammed, you kind of feel it in your hands. He said he felt it more in his right hand, and he continued to play on opening day, had a base hit later, and eventually got lifted for a pinch runner. And then he said, yeah, my right hand was kind of sore, and he didn't think anything of it. And then he woke up in the middle of the night, and he said his left hand was just killing him. Ooh. So he broke the hamate on his left hand, which is down kind of toward the padding on the bottom of the hand.
Yeah.
I think this is the third baseball player that's had this surgery. You basically just take that bone out of there. So he's got the surgery scheduled for today, and he's out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Did he get hit by the ball?
No.
So it's just all the torque?
Yeah.
Can break a bone?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He's the third, I said, third guy, I believe, in baseball this year alone to already have this.
4 to 6?
4 to 6. Because it requires surgery.
This happens every year. It happened last year with the pitching. They were beat up, and they still power through. But they're so deep.
Yeah.
I don't think. I mean,
again, it's why they called up Jefferson Cuero, because they want to start Gary Sanchez more at first base.
Yeah, but you were saying in the text chain you guys thought it was about Contreras. What's wrong with Contreras?
We were hoping it wasn't because they were bringing up a catcher.
So they brought up one of their catching prospects, and that was the first move that was made.
Yes.
Right? Okay. Like, everybody got to know, okay, so Jefferson Cuero's come, which, excited for him. He's one of their top prospects. We've known about him for a while. But you're going, hopefully this isn't William Contreras related. Yeah. And then we find out it's not, that he's healthy, and it's because Andrew Vaughn broke his hand.
The big concern was Contreras didn't have the year last year that we all became accustomed or expected him to have, and that was because he's such a grinder and a gamer. He's out there and not letting his injuries heal properly, but still 75% Contreras is better than 90% of catchers in baseball.
Yeah.
So it was just a worry of, oh, no, not again for this guy so early. So it was a little bit of a relief, but you still want Vaughn out there in 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm not super worried. I think if 4 of these pile up, then we can start talking about it. But they've got enough guys around there.
But it's better to have it early than late.
100%.
I mean, if you're going to do this, have it now.
Well, especially because it's a really weird schedule, Quirk. We can talk about this with Jeff Levering, who's back on the show. Levering going to be joining us on Tuesdays this year on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. They're playing all American League teams in the first 4 series.
Huh.
So
we started the Rays.
Started with the White Sox, have the Rays, go on the road to Boston and Kansas City.
Okay.
And then they finally get back home after that, and they'll have their first National League Series. So you're playing, again, every game's important, like you said, Chu, because that could be the difference between getting a wild card or winning the division or what have you. But the National League games and the divisional games are always more important. So with the way the schedule sets up, it's, again, not fine necessarily, but they've got depth to cover it right now, and hopefully Churio's back sooner rather than later, and again, you can start to get healthy. But I'm curious, Josh, how many people did stick around yesterday?
A ton. I I typically, I've said for a long time on here, I never stay to the end of games. It just so happened that the way the inning in the 8th took off, it started you with enough idea of, oh, there might be something going on here. It's worth sticking around. I didn't see many people leaving at all, and we were in the club level, and I mean, you could see the whole stadium from there. The only people I ended up seeing was after Yelich hit a nuke was the White Sox fans that were in attendance. They wanted to get out and beat the crowd. But
that's understandable.
And like leaving, it was jam-packed. There was tons of people. So I think a lot of people hung around. It was one of those, it was like a very nice day out.
Yeah.
It was a little bit of sunny. It was like, where do we really got to go? It's a 1:10 game on a Sunday. Like, we got plenty of time. No, it was actually a longer game than I looked down at the clock at one point and said, "Whoa, it's 4 p.m. What happened here?"
They scored 16 runs. Yeah. Brandon Sproat couldn't find the strike zone early.
Started off a little rough, but I just think people were excited to be there, and it was, hey, I've got however many hours till I need to go to work tomorrow, so let's just hang it out and see what happens.
Yeah, because I feel like on a typical day, a lot of people are missing. Again, most people are sticking around, but there's a good chunk that are missing the 6-run 8th.
Yes.
Yeah, your team's down 7-3.
Right.
Okay, all right, just not our day, and they're just taking off. But you only have to learn that lesson once in baseball.
When would I have left?
The 5th inning?
After the grand slam, the White Sox hit in the first.
Out. Yeah. I got invited to go to opening day here.
Ooh.
But they're playing the Rays at home, right?
The Brewers are playing the Rays at home. So the Rays are probably, Thursday or Friday this week would be their opener?
No, I don't think it's till next Monday, the 6th.
Oh, is that because they need to get the
is that their stadium
the Trop's
thing?
done.
The Trop's done? They don't have anything left to do there?
No, new roof and everything, but it's the Trop.
At the
Which
end
is
of the
nice.
day,
So
with the roof, it's still the Trop.
Well, they do have plans to open the new stadium by Raymond James, where the Bucks play.
Okay.
So I don't know when that's going to be done, but the Trop is not a desirable place to go watch a baseball game. So I took a pass. Shocking.
Shout out to Chef Ed, 800-990-3776 on the Carbless Talk and text line. He claims he got his drunk self home. I'll edit him there. His sisters wanted to leave in the 7th. They were his ride, but he took an Uber.
Oh,
so Chef Ed wanted to watch the end of it. Sisters took off. His ride took off, and he just took an Uber so he could watch the Brewers walk it off in the 8th inning. Or not walk it off, but come from behind and have the yelly home run.
Yeah.
I mean, to have that kind of energy in Game 3 of the season.
I mean, what are you going to do on a Sunday anyways? Even though there were some good basketball games.
Oh, we'll certainly get to those. Well, we'll certainly get to those because, there was some intriguing things happening in March Madness.
You mentioned Jeff Levering is going to be joining us tomorrow. Let's just take a listen.
We heard the radio call. Might as well listen to the TV one.
2-2. Fly ball to deep right. It is way back and gone. Yelly delivers in the clutch.
Jeff Levering, breaking news. Very good at his job.
Yeah.
I just, and I know it was a huge moment. It just being in the stadium and realizing it was Game 3 and how nuts people were going for that was just awesome.
He got a curtain call.
Yeah. Yes.
People wouldn't stop going nuts to the point where he had to come out, wave the helmet, and then go back down.
Yeah. I just didn't expect it. Like, I mean, the reaction of everyone was just fired up for some ball. It was a good weekend for baseball. As much as March Madness did its thing, baseball had a weekend itself.
Oh, trust me. We're in about an hour. I am going to reluctantly give baseball credit once again. All right?
Oh boy.
Well, we're going to reluctantly give them credit because, look, when they do something right, they do something right. I don't know how aware Chewy is of some of the things that happened in baseball over the weekend, but I want to make him aware, but I will be issuing, I don't know if it's an apology necessarily, but, just
pat on the back.
Just kind of a pat on the back, tip of the cap to Rob Manfred and the crew for making yet another positive change in baseball. And then just quickly, finally, on that Yelich home run. So the thing about Yelly and all the injuries that have kind of piled up, and it was nice to see him last year, put up the numbers that he did and finally be healthy for a good season. And it took him a little bit of time to kind of get used to just being the DH every day. I don't know the last time I saw him pull a ball down that line with that kind of power.
Daniel Vogelbach fix him.
I'm hoping so. But here's the thing is, he was working on the leg kick. He's back to the toe tap.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's just more comfortable for him. Whatever he's doing, don't change after you hit a baseball 475,000 feet down the right field line.
Yeah, I mean, just an absolute no doubt.
But if Yelly can lift the ball with a little pull power,
there's your home runs.
Look out. Yeah. Exactly, Chew. Chew's
still got juice in the tank.
It is the NFL, though, they've got their owner meetings. Matt LaFleur going to be speaking with the assembled media. Also had some comments from Mike Garafolo. We dive into those coming up next, but I do want to tell you about our friends at Events by Design, because you can boost culture with captivating corporate events like appreciation parties, brand activations, and more. The creative team at Events by Design, they truly enjoy the work that they do, and they make events not just fun, but memorable. I know people are going to still be talking about, when they show up to our golf outing this year, hey, is Events by Design back? They doing the walk-up songs on 14 again? They can add those little things, or they can plan it all for you from start to finish. You just got to reach out to them if you're planning a fun party, just something to show appreciation for your employees, or you have an anniversary party you want to be celebrating. Just reach out to Events by Design. You can retain that top talent, invest in that culture today. Just search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We've got southbound on 43 moving along quite well, as is southbound on 41. We have the northbound side tightening up a little bit, though, from about North Avenue up to Burleigh. Eastbound 94 a little bit heavy coming out of the stadium interchange heading towards 35th Street. We did have a vehicle fire on northbound 94 right about at Drexel off on the right shoulder, so you want to keep an eye out for that one. We are seeing a little bit of a backup stretching back past Putes Road. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, cooler by the lake, a high of 65 at the lakefront, 75 inland tonight. Chance of rain or storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 44. Weather's brought to you by National Liquor Mart at 16th and National in Milwaukee, packed with the best beer, liquor, seltzer, and spirit deals in town. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. daily, where your satisfaction is their plan of action. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
In pro football, if a coach can't see the whole field, he's missing out. It's that simple. If you run a commercial trade business and you don't have Service Titan, you're coaching blind. You need real-time visibility into project profitability. You need to know which jobs are making money and which ones aren't before it's too late. And you need to see the entire business in one place, from service work to construction. Service Titan is the end-to-end platform that helps you do all that and more. Win larger contracts, accelerate your workflows, and maximize your profit. Visit ServiceTitan.com to learn more.
Pros, just because something on the job runs out doesn't mean you have to. Order it on the Lowe's app. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members get free same-day delivery on eligible orders over $25. Get the fasteners, hardware, or tools you need to keep the job moving. Order by 2 p.m. and get eligible in-stock items delivered right to your job site by 8 p.m. Members get more at Lowe's. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Subject to availability, restrictions, and terms at Lowes.com/shipping terms. Subject to change.
There's nothing like Milwaukee Bucks basketball at Fiserv Forum. The dunks, the defense, the roar of 17,000 fans. It's even better when you're with friends or family. From jaw-dropping plays to buzzer-beating threes, every game is packed with unforgettable moments that you'll get to share together. So gather your crew and get your single game tickets today at bucks.com/single. That's bucks.com/single.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So you mentioned Super Bowls and parties and how they don't go hand in hand, which again is an absurd comment by you two, but it's just one of many on the show.
Dumber thing that Chewy has said this morning. Super Bowls and parties don't go hand in hand, or cheddar is not a top 10 cheese.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Yeah, we're going to be talking with Jeff Levering, more things about the Brewers tomorrow, as we are excited. He is going to be joining us each and every Tuesday this year. More on everything that happened in baseball coming up later in the show as well, Chew. But again, some little things, and I think guys like Rob Domofsky, who are going to be out there in Arizona for the owners' meetings, I think are excited to be talking to Matt LaFleur, because he hasn't spoken since Gannon's been hired and the staff had to get reshuffled because they lost, obviously, a lot of defensive staff, lost some offensive staff as well, with Sean Mannion leaving and kind of having to reshuffle the cards there. So I think everyone's kind of excited to talk to LaFleur, get some answers there, and just kind of hear his general thoughts on how things have gone this offseason. But he did speak a little bit to Mike Garafolo on over the weekend, and that, of course, Mike is the NFL Network insider, NFL insider. He kind of talked a little bit about Jordan Love, about how much they like having Jordan Love, how much they trust each other, and again, kind of what do you expect him to say about Jordan Love at this point in time, right? Like he's never going to say anything about Jordan that's because he likes Jordan. They're happy with their decision to extend him. He's their guy, and he's going to have nothing but praise for his quarterback.
I hope he cuts him loose a little more.
Sure.
But that remains to be seen. But, Jordan's got some responsibility, too. He needs to take that next step. And this past year, he was good. But we're looking for great. Because we've seen great before.
Yep.
And they are going to go as he goes. And there's going to be bumps, but he just needs to cut him loose a little more. Trust him a little more. In certain situations. Well, so, he says all the same things every year, but it never translates into that year. Now it's time. Now it's time.
Since they signed the 2 years that they've signed Josh Jacobs, right? Especially that first year when Josh was completely healthy, they transformed into a run-first team. Not by choice, though. Sure, because
it was by choice.
I mean, some of the injuries, and then it was working, right? So why go away from it that first year that Josh was here? And you had the injuries to Jordan, and so you're kind of shuffling some things around with those games that Love eventually missed a couple of seasons ago. But I'm with you. I think they have to rely more on Jordan just because, A, it's how the NFL works, right? You got to rely on the quarterback. B, I still don't know what they're doing at running back. Yeah, they re-signed Chris Brooks. Yes, Josh Jacobs is coming back. But Chris Brooks, as much as Joshy loves him, even Joshy, the number one Chris Brooks fan, will admit that Chris Brooks is not a number 2 running back.
No, he's a role player. But they're waiting on Marshawn Lloyd. I mean, he's got all the tools. He's had some weird injuries.
Yeah.
But now it's time to, get off the pot. They're banking on him to be there's a lot of banking going into this year. A lot of banking. They're banking on him being number 2. They're banking on the transition from Dobbs to Golden is going to be seamless, and that's a plus. There's banking on Jordan Morgan at left tackle. Things go smoothly. So, I mean, there's still question marks. I know you guys feel good about Golden and Morgan.
Yep. First-round picks for a reason.
But they haven't done enough yet.
Sure.
And they're young. So
I guess I just do. Man, you can't be putting all your eggs in the Marshawn Lloyd basket, right? You've got to have other options at that number 2 running back.
Well, is this it? This should be it. As far
probably.
As if he doesn't produce now or prove that he can be a number 2, it's time to.
Yeah,
time
if
to
he doesn't stay healthy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the big thing. Because as you said, it's probably unfair to him, right? Because I still love the raw athletic ability that he had since he was drafted. And he made one play. I can't remember if it was last year or the year before in a exhibition game, right? And you saw, okay, this guy can be explosive. He just can't stay healthy. I don't want to put all my eggs in the Marshawn Lloyd basket. I don't know if it's drafting somebody. I don't know if it's picking up an undrafted free agent. Maybe that's more palpable of where you pick up a undrafted free agent after the draft is over, or a couple of them, and go, okay, maybe one of these guys can stick around in case Marshawn gets hurt. And then if Marshawn stays healthy, you got no problem stashing him away on the practice squad or cutting him outright.
But there's a lot of questions that need to be answered too, Gabe.
Yes.
Like the offensive line. They were terrible last year, and they slipped from a top 10 offensive line into the 20s, okay? And everyone says, hey, this offense looks stale. Well, you kept Stenavich, right? You had every opportunity to promote Mannion, and you let him get away.
He was going to go anyway
to Philadelphia.
Because he was going to go anyway. Because he was going to be calling plays. If he was going to get a job, where he was going to call plays, LaFleur's not giving up play calling.
No, I know, but I mean, you need to be more innovative. You got to you just have to keep up with everyone else. It can't be, and we saw it with McCarthy, where his offense got stale. But there's just so many question marks, Gabe. We don't know how Tucker Kraft's going to come back.
We don't, but I'm willing. I know where I'd be willing to bet.
Yeah, but there's no guarantee.
No, there's no guarantee. But also, if we're going to talk about how the offensive line took a massive step back last year, did the offense get stale, or can you just not do anything offensively that you want to be able to do creatively if your offensive line can't protect?
Well, they screwed up with Elton.
Yeah. 100%.
They should have seen that earlier. Can he really play center?
I guess I find and again, we don't need to relitigate that whole thing, but putting him in center, not giving him extra money, him not showing up to anything in the offseason, it put him behind, and he never caught up, and then he got hurt, and we who knows if he could have been a good center had he had the full offseason. But I guess I'm just of the thinking maybe there isn't anything wrong with this offense other than the offensive line needs to be better. Because
another question mark, Gabe. Zach Tom.
Yeah, you don't know with his knee. But if your offensive line isn't going to, and to me, that was the biggest issue that they had in the second half of the Bears game, is the offensive line just forgot how to block. They suddenly went from giving Jordan Love all sorts of time, opening up big holes for Josh Jacobs, to they couldn't protect. They couldn't do anything.
It just wasn't jelly. An offensive line in continuity certainly helps, but there was never, it was always like, hey, 4 guys did good, 1 guy sucked, which resulted in a bad play, I mean, I look at, in our good years, our offensive line was consistent, and they weren't the great. We didn't have any Pro Bowlers, but they worked well together as a unit.
Yeah.
This past year, they didn't work well together as a unit.
Well, because, again, you had a new guy. You were doing some rotating at one point. You had a new guy at left guard. You had a new guy at center, and then a center gets injured. The left guard's not really healthy. You're kind of shuffling guys in and out. And injuries are a part of the game, obviously, especially at the offensive line. But, yeah, that's a big reason why I think they didn't have continuity. Now, Banks played better. I still don't know what to think of Aaron Banks. Yes, he played better as the season went along, but to rededicate themselves to him the way that they did this offseason with the restructure of his contract, he's the left guard for the next 2 seasons, for better or worse. For better or worse. He's sticking around for the next 2 seasons, so you just got to hope that he plays better. And, yeah, we're going to get some answers. I think we're going to get some answers pretty soon in the season.
Which is crazy because...
About the offensive line.
Because 2 years ago, they ran the ball so well. Mm-hmm. And last year, it was clearly a struggle. And I don't know. I mean, coaches have to take the blame, too, because Andy, when he was the tight end, he knew there were things that I couldn't do. So you know what you do, Gabe? You don't
try to avoid those. Yeah, try to avoid those best you can.
You don't do them. So, I mean, I have questions about Stenavich. I got questions about Butkus, the old line coach, By
the way, LaFleur did say that Kraft is right on schedule in his recovery, telling the NFL Network, it'll be great to have Tucker Kraft coming back off his ACL surgery. He's been around quite a bit. Watching him train in rehab, go through that process, he's going to be a big focal point of our offense.
I wonder if they started negotiating. Maybe we'll ask Jason tomorrow.
Yeah.
With Kraft.
Yeah, just kind of some token things. Again, for whatever reason, the Packers seem to do those extensions in training camp and then close to the start of the regular season.
Yes. But it's a little different with the guy with an ACL.
Sure.
Because if it's not, is he going to rush back?
Well,
is he
they
going
did
to slow play it?
I don't want to say it's a half measure because a 1 year, $13 million contract is still a decent amount of money. So I don't want to say that was like a Jordan Love half measure, but it's what they did with, obviously last year.
Yeah, but we didn't know
what
we know what Kraft is.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. One of the best tight ends in the league.
But I think
Christian Watson's like, is he a 2? Is he a 1?
Sure, but I think they did the 1 year deal to make sure he didn't try to rush back.
To
go, hey, you've got some security here. You're still going to be here next year. You're getting a decent chunk of change. That's really the first big payday for you. You still then have an opportunity to get paid either by us or someone else after that. So that one made sense. Yes, for Tucker Kraft, I would expect it to be a full-on extension. And maybe they've started those, and they just kind of continue to monitor it. And then
it shouldn't be that hard, Gabe. It's a 4-year, $19 million average.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I don't think it'd be that difficult. But also, they have a little bit more money coming their way because technically Nate Hobbs was a June 1 release.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit more money there. You've got more money to play with after June 1st. And obviously Tucker Kraft's not going anywhere. He's under contract this year. So it's why you can kind of push that off and do something like that. So, again, there are a lot of questions. I'm curious to see what LaFleur has to say at the owner meetings, and they're certainly going to have those conversations.
Is Goody there, too?
Yes. I just don't know when. I don't know if the GMs speak. I don't know when they speak. Yeah. I don't know the schedule. Rob had sent out a picture of all, the tables and when the time of the availability today for head coaches.
I want to see the picture. I want to see how close LaFleur is to
Ben Johnson. I think that gets taken today. I think we'll have an answer for that. Yeah, I think we're going to have an answer for that.
If I'm Ben Johnson, tomorrow. I'm going right up next to him.
You would. You would, too.
Yeah, because he's a pot stirrer.
So are you.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big pot stirrer.
I think that's why part of you hates Ben Johnson. Because he's the Bears head coach, and he's annoying. But I think part of you respects him because you see some of the moves that you would pull.
Yes. He's in his head, for sure. Yeah, you don't want to play golf with me, Gabe, especially if I'm playing bad.
I've heard stories. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm. They're true.
I had a couple of pops when I was in Vegas with your guy Stanley Do-Right.
Oh, yeah.
Heard about some pouting that may or may not have gone on.
Huge. Yeah, my game's no good. Everyone's game's no good. I ain't going down with the ship.
You're taking everybody down with you, that's for sure. If you've been putting off replacing your windows or doors, now is the time because Pella of Wisconsin offering 0% interest financing all the way until 2032. That's right, 0% interest until 2032. In Wisconsin, you already know your home's going to take a beating year-round, but with the right windows or doors, you can improve comfort, boost energy efficiency, and upgrade your home's look. Yeah, I love the new front door. makes my home look better. My energy certainly improved this winter because of the new front door I got last fall from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Plus, I've got a hidden screen on there. Really excited to try that out when the warmer weather hits. Pella's experts are going to help you find the perfect fit for your home and budget. And with 0% interest until 2032, upgrade now, pay over time without paying a dime in interest. So don't wait. Just head to PellaWI.com today.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we've got a vehicle fire northbound on 94, right about at Drexel Avenue, off on the right shoulder. Now, they put the fire out, but we do have delays stretching all the way back to about Ryan Road. So that's going to be a tight ride. So give yourself time. Eastbound 94 backing up from about Hawley Road all the way to 35th. Westbound's cleared up nicely. We've got northbound 41 heavy from just before North Avenue all the way up to about Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by Great Midwest Bank. Rates change, needs change. Great Midwest Bank can help you explore a refinance that better fits where you are today. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny, cooler by the lake. High of 65 at the lakefront, 75 inland tonight. Chance of rain or storms, mostly cloudy, low of 44. Weather is brought to you by Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center in Waukesha. Another two-man scramble tournament is underway. Play Georgia Golf Club for a shot at cash prizes. Must play by March 31st. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Let's talk about home turf. Your lawn is a reflection of your pride, hard work, and even competitive spirit. If you want a yard that makes the neighbors stop and stare, you need the right plan. That's where Weedman Lawn Care comes in. Weedman's lawn care program is kid and pet friendly, uses golf course quality fertilizer, and has an effective weed treatment to dominate any issue. Get a free quote of Weedman's winning formula for your yard at weedman.com and get 50% off your first treatment. That's weedman.com. Weedman for the win.
Progressive presents ways to save money that aren't bundling your home and auto insurance with Progressive.
I can't believe the deal we got on these seats for the game.
Wow, they must be pretty high up here. I think my ears just popped.
Yeah, here, put this on.
Is that an oxygen mask?
An official team oxygen mask.
Well, I can kind of see the field.
Good, your senses are still sharp. You're going to need them for phase 2 of the ascent.
Don't save money by sitting in the nosebleeds. You could save hundreds by switching to Progressive. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
It's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. Right now, Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is offering 0% interest for 72 months. Some restrictions may apply. See store for details. Offer ends March 31st, 2026.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
We have standards in Wisconsin. Cheese should squeak. Sports and tailgating go hand in hand with brats aplenty. And beef is a delicacy where each bite makes you close your eyes for a second. For 50 years, Bunzel's has been hand-selecting the finest beef, making homemade specialty sausages, and crafting award-winning jerky right here at home. Because Wisconsin is still cattle country, quality isn't optional. It's expected. And after 5 decades, Bunzel's still delivers. Stop in today at 90th and Burleigh or at bunzels.com.
You are listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He hates the ending of all comedies. Apparently doesn't like happy endings.
I love happy endings. Don't take it that far.
Muy
bueno.
Maybe that's a vote for Groundhog Day for you.
On 94.5 ESPN.
It's Great Midwest Bank Mortgage Monday on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Rates change, needs change. Great Midwest Bank can help you explore a refinance that better fits where you are today. Visit greatmidwestbank.com.
Chewy had mentioned some great basketball games that happened yesterday. I mean, I don't know if I've ever seen an ending like we saw in that UConn game.
That's crazy.
The only thing it brought to mind, and it's a football play, and it's burned into my memory forever. It's the Michigan State, the punt.
Where the punt got blocked.
Where the punter, for whatever reason, panics and throws it backwards over his head into the ice. Because it's only akin to you did the one thing you couldn't do to lose that game, and both of them found ways to do it.
And it would have been better off to literally do nothing.
You could have thrown the ball 40 feet in the air, and it would have been a better result.
I remember that. My son was in the game. And I was just started screaming because I thought it was over.
Yeah. It just takes such... And I mean, I know it's college, and that's why we enjoy college so much, is because they do make those mistakes.
Oh, yeah, because it's just a panic mistake.
Right.
It's 100% a panic mistake.
And credit to Boozer for facing the music and talking about it right away and not running. Felt terrible for him. But as a viewer that didn't have really any interest other than hating both teams...
Well, that was the issue, Josh.
Yeah.
That's how I was torn, yeah.
This was the rare instance where, and look, most of the time, I've said that most of the time, I just want to be entertained, and I was entertained by that game. But Chewy, I know you're someone that whenever you watch a random game, if your team is not involved, you want to pick a side to root for.
Yes.
But when you've got Duke, who's one of the most hated schools in college basketball history, going up against Dan Hurley and UConn, who... It doesn't seem like anybody outside of UConn likes Dan Hurley.
No.
Recognizes his success, absolutely, but find him annoying with the antics that he pulls on the sidelines.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't know if I was supposed to cheer. Like you said, it was a great play, but I don't know. And I'm not a Duke hater. I don't like Duke.
Sure.
But Hurley drives me nuts. He's such a nutcase, so I was kind of torn. Now, who do I want to win it all? Obviously not Michigan. Obviously not UConn. Arizona's just kind of like I have no...
Well, I think you're rooting for Arizona because I don't think we want Illinois, Michigan, or UConn to win.
See, I'm from the school. We live in a Big Ten state. I'm all for the Big Ten winning.
No, that doesn't.
I don't get that with you guys.
No, because why would I care, man? Like that doesn't mean anything for the Badgers if Illinois wins. That doesn't give them more street cred. Who cares about the conference? I hate the conference. I hate every other team in the conference.
So you went. Hold on. You were part of the Wisconsin school system, college.
Correct.
You don't hate Marquette. I never understood that.
No, I don't hate Marquette. No, but you know who I did hate and who I was rooting for not to win national championships?
Illinois.
Whitewater. I hate Whitewater. I'm not going, WIAC pride. Let's go Warhawks. No, screw that crap.
You're a liar. You're not being truthful.
Because
you get to walk around and say, "Hey, we barely lost to Whitewater, and they won the national championship." That means we're probably number 3 in the country.
No, my freshman year, we gave Whitewater won the national championship in baseball my freshman year. We were the first team that beat them that year. Like they were undefeated.
You don't feel good about that?
You
don't feel good about that?
I feel good about that, but I also didn't want them to win the national championship.
See, now I would. Because it makes you look better. It makes Platteville look better.
So if the Bears would have gone on to the Super Bowl, that would have made the Packers look better?
Well, it's a little different.
How is that different? It's the same thing. It's teams.
Was that a big rivalry, Platteville versus Whitewater?
Oh, yeah. They play they play a game. It's called the football game's called the Christ Bowl every year in honor of one of the former Paul Christ's dad, actually, George Christ. So they do that. Platteville Whitewater's.
Would you have a problem if Detroit won the Super Bowl this last year? I wouldn't. They're not a threat. They're a flash in the pan.
What do you mean they're not a threat? If they win a Super Bowl, guess what?
What?
They're a threat.
Yeah,
they
but
won
they're
a
only a threat for
championship.
so long. Like their window's closing, and then they won't have that opportunity to have a window again for 20 years.
I think Chewy has, what's the best way to put this, an antiquated view. Because once the Badgers out for a lot of people, at least a lot of people that I hang around with, the next best option is how do I win the most money?
Yes.
Be it your pool, be it straight up gambling, be it whatever version, your survivor pool, whatever it is. I'm not rooting for Michigan or Illinois. That doesn't mean anything to me. It makes me feel worse that they go far and the Badgers were out in the first round.
And Wisconsin beat both those teams, by the way.
Do you have any of those teams in your Final Four?
They beat, what did they beat? 5 of the Elite 8 teams?
It was quite a bit. Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like they had a winning record against most of the Elite 8.
Yeah, even as a Marquette guy. I love Marquette. They beat UConn at the end of the year.
Uh-huh.
I don't care if UConn wins the national championship. If UConn wins or loses against Illinois, it doesn't make me feel any different about A, Marquette's season, B, that win, C, Marquette going forward. Does nothing.
I'm going to put this on the poll.
Yeah, but mine's all based upon the coach. If Calhoun, the old UConn coach, was there, I'd want them to win. Stores is probably, I don't know, hour 20 minutes from where I grew up.
Sure.
But it's all because of her. He just annoys me. It's like Calipari. Can't stand him. He annoys me. But I have to have a favorite.
Yeah, you got to have a team you're rooting for. I think you're rooting for Arizona. I think you would like Arizona. I don't know how much basketball you've watched of them, Chew, but they play kind of an older school. They only took 15 threes in their Elite 8 game that they won. They actually shoot mid-range. Yeah, they want to get threes. Yes, they want to get to the rim, but they play different than just about every other team. Every team is trying to drive and kick and knock down threes, and that's not what Arizona is.
If you're power ranking these 4, how you doing it?
Michigan, Arizona, Illinois, UConn.
I believe that would be Vegas would agree.
Okay.
I'll have to
Really?
double check.
I thought Arizona
might
the
have
top
jumped
dog.
Michigan.
Michigan's favored by 1.5.
The way Michigan played, I mean, that was would they win by 32?
Yeah, they won
they
going
still
away.
beat Tennessee.
So if they beat Duke, and that was a really good game in the middle of February for whatever reason, just a great non-conference game. If they beat Duke, they're the number 1 overall seed. So.
Oh, in that game.
Well, no, in the tournament.
Yeah, that's right.
Michigan would have been, had they won that game against Duke. Instead, Duke won. Duke was the number 1 overall seed. Right? Yeah. So Michigan's right there. And that's not to take anything away from Arizona. Arizona's a really good team. Big 12 is the best conference in basketball all year long.
I thought this was one of the better tournaments.
Oh, I think it's been fantastic.
I think so, too. I think it had... I know we all say we love the upsets.
So I
don't love the good teams losing early. I have no problem with Duke losing now, but I want to see the good teams later. And then I want to see a team like Iowa, and then I want to see a team like Tennessee make a run and be a part of it. But I want the good teams there at the end.
Yeah, because we've got 2 number 1 seeds, a team that's won 2 of the last 3 national championships, and Illinois is a 3 seed.
Yes,
but they were one of the best 4 teams early in the. They hit a lull in the middle of the year.
Yeah,
but they're still really
way
good
better
team.
than a 3 seed.
Correct.
Way better.
Correct.
Odds over at Potawatomi are Michigan plus 150, Arizona plus 175, Illinois plus 450, and then UConn plus 650.
Okay.
Both those games, by the way, are 1.5. Michigan by 1.5, Illinois by 1.5. So I've got a working theory about. That I've kind of come up with during this tournament, because there were some people complaining early, we don't have the Cinderella. I mean, obviously then High Point in Wisconsin. We don't have any of these low seeds. And it was the second straight year that a 13, 14, or 15 seed did not win in the tournament. And, we're losing what makes the tournament magical. No, I think the reason why people think they like upsets, Josh, because I think there are a lot of people like you that when the upsets happen, they're exciting and it's awesome. Mm-hmm. But usually when those upsets happen, it happens like it did to Wisconsin. It was a 1-point game. It was a great comeback by High Point. It was a great game. I think what we like are the great games.
Close games.
That's what we actually like. Because it's not like we look back fondly at UMBC, because they blew the doors off of Virginia when they were the first 16 seed to ever win. It's the close games. And we had plenty of that. I mean, we had the one game in the opening round with Kentucky where it had 3 shots that tied or took the lead in the final 12 seconds.
Yeah, I think what we've seen happen is there's been a separation because of NIL, But the rankings from the committee have gotten so good and so precise.
Pretty dialed in.
They know who the good teams are. They know where the good matchups are going to come. They know how to put teams together that are going to be like. You used to get the 1 or 2 game by the Cinderella, and then the next game they played was a stinker because they got their doors blown off by an actual good team.
It was clearly magical.
Right.
They just hit a bunch of threes, or the other team got cold, and they won for whatever reason because of the randomness that can be basketball.
Yeah, and I think they're getting closer to the actual better teams and ranking them correctly and putting them in situations where you get the games that we've gotten.
What was Iowa? Were they an 8 or a 9?
They were a 9.
Which is a good story, you know.
Yeah.
You knew they weren't gonna win it all, but
no, and like they played the 3 that they got to win their Sweet 16 game was such a great drawn up play. Or no, that was to get to the Sweet 16 in the round of 32.
Yeah,
where they got the 3 in the corner in transition. It was
I like stories like that.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah, but they were playing good basketball. And as it went along, you could tell, this team's not outmatched.
Yeah.
You know, where that can happen from time to time. Mm-hmm. So I'm looking forward to it. Should be a really good Final Four in Indianapolis coming up on Saturday. But Chewy's got some issues. Not his issues, but there's some lost luggage going on. We'll see if we can help out the big guy. Coming up next, but a weekly pulse on the Milwaukee Bucks. It's straight from a fan favorite and a Bucks legend. Tune into Here District with Marcus Johnson, a Bucks Plus audio production. Marcus and his son Chris, a 1995 UCLA hoops champ himself, talk about everything happening in the Bucks world and are joined by some of the biggest names in basketball. Plus, they'll answer your questions too. Stay on the beat of the Bucks and find Here District now, bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't miss a moment of the basketball tournament action this March at 3rd Street Market Hall. Home to your one-stop, must-stop viewing destination, 3rd Street Market Hall has over 20 locally owned food vendors, a 30 self-serve beer wall, over 50 HD TVs, plus game day specials. The perfect place to work remotely or catch a game between meetings or over lunch, 3rd Street Market Hall is your downtown home for basketball this March.
Hey, Tom, I just really can't get my kids off their phones lately. What's your secret, man?
I told you last time, go to PrecisionSportsOnline.com and buy a hoop. And while you're there, include their court line painting. You'll thank me later. PrecisionSportsOnline.com. That's PrecisionSportsOnline.com.
Hey fans, John Kuhn here, team captain of the Potawatomi Sportsbook, and there's a reason it's considered the Midwest premier place to bet on all your favorite sports. The full bar, awesome dining, 2,000 square foot screen, and nearly 100 betting kiosks makes for an unbeatable playbook. Bet above the rest, only at Potawatomi Sportsbook in Milwaukee. More info online. Must be 21 to enter casino.
Looking for a dinner that actually impresses and cocktails that keep the conversation going? Head to the second floor of St. Kate the Arts Hotel and discover the Studio Kitchen and Cocktails. Bold, elevated dinners, thoughtfully crafted cocktails. It's the kind of place where every plate and every pour is made with intention. Come for dinner, stay for another round. The Studio Kitchen and Cocktails on the second floor at St. Kate the Arts Hotel.
Wisconsin, let's talk about something near and dear to my heart. Beer. Specifically, great beer. And if you haven't met Yuengling yet, allow me to introduce you. Yuengling is the oldest brewery in America, founded in Pottsville, PA in 1829. 197 years, 6 generations of family-owned brewing. Do you know how they became America's oldest brewery? By making great beer. This is a real American beer. Smooth, rich, and finally here in Wisconsin. So grab a Yuengling, raise a glass, and celebrate history the way it was meant to be celebrated, by drinking it. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. DJ Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Josh DiMaggio here for Milwaukee Weight Loss. I've been on this journey since January and already lost 30 pounds. It's been easy, safe, and their team continue to help me reach my goals. Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. And for a limited time, get $200 off the spring special. Book your free consultation at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com.
Results may vary.
It's Mike with Infinity Exteriors. I've seen it all, Wisconsin. Sketchy sales gimmicks for low-quality windows, siding that costs more than a new home, fly-by-night roofers. 60,000 happy customers made a better choice. Infinity Exteriors roofing, siding, and windows all come with our lifetime workmanship warranty, no overcharges, and transparent pricing. At Infinity Exteriors, we're on a mission to save our communities from unscrupulous contractors. Visit infinityexteriors.com.
Don't you wish your life came with a warning app?
That dog does not want to be petted.
Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
The other side of the world, and I'll let you know if I want to come back and coach your little game.
Ian Peterman.
Ian Rappaport tweeting yesterday, and I thought this was interesting. The Broncos the last 2 weeks. You guys done?
I got more.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Chewy's living the bachelor lifestyle this week. He's got nobody there to keep him in check. And usually I feel like when this happens, like maybe he's back in Wisconsin, at least me, Jen, and Josh. Jen, by the way, off today. She's Vibe Check. She's doing the ESPN show Vibe Check. Check that out on Disney Plus later today if you want to get Jen's sports takes. Vibe Check on Disney Plus. But there's no one down there to kind of keep you in check. You're left to your own devices this week, right?
Well, I got my son who's about a mile away.
Okay.
But, we had a very nice day yesterday. But Angie went to Sicily with the family because her sister had passed a couple months ago and they were going to spread her ashes there. So she leaves. When did she leave? Saturday, 7 o'clock at night.
Okay.
So then I hear from her the next morning when I get up. They had just landed in Palermo through Rome. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It was a great flight,
Smooth. Everything's on time.
A little long. Went to Rome, had a 3-hour layover. And Rome is a huge airport. I don't know if you guys ever been there.
I've never been.
A little crazy. So everything's fine, Gabe, until they get to Palermo. No luggage. No luggage. They don't know where it is. They think it's in Rome. So
I mean, that would make sense that that's where it would be.
No clothes, no makeup, and
wait.
Airline.
Where are the ashes?
Her parents have them.
Oh, okay. Whew.
Yeah. Who they flew in the night before.
Okay. Because that would be a disaster too. Like
I don't mean to laugh, but that would have been crazy.
Yeah, right.
That would have been.
That would. Yeah.
Oh, I cannot. If
you got to carry that on, right?
I would think so. I would think. I've never traveled with ashes.
Yeah.
But again, if you're going to a foreign country, yes, I would carry just to make sure. Because again, it happens. What, 1% of the time, less than 1% of the time, what Chewy's talking about, where luggage gets lost.
Luckily, you're in that 1%.
I am in that 1%.
Yeah,
it's not the 1% you want to be in.
You don't want to be there. But again, like, even if there's that percent of a chance, that's why I'm with Josh. But, like, do you have to take that out? Like, is that going in are the ashes going in a separate bin when you're going through security? I got so many questions now.
I think that's carry on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you want to make sure you do not want to let those things leave your sight, especially if that's the reason why you're going to a foreign country is to spread those ashes.
So they were staying in Sicily. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Sicily, but Sicily is very old, very behind the times, and they are staying an hour outside of Palermo in a village where her parents' relatives live there, right? But it's there's nothing there. So the airline, no vouchers. She has to go, when they find the luggage, back to Palermo to pick it up.
Oh, she's got to go get that?
Yes.
What?
Terrible. And then they just don't care, And it's just like, I mean, I couldn't imagine what you went through, but you probably had places, you had golf shops where you could buy clothes.
100%. And
there's nothing of this. So thank God she has a sister that's the same size as her, and they're sharing clothes and stuff like that. But as of today, still can't find it. In 2026, with the barcodes on the, I mean, come on, what are we doing here?
Yeah, it's
so. I caught a lot of shrapnel.
I remember when I went to Scotland. For those who don't know, I went to Scotland in 2022, and my clothes luggage did not make it. I had a layover in Amsterdam. They did not make it. Luckily, my golf clubs did, which, again, I was happy about because being left-handed, I don't know what the rental options are playing some of the historic golf courses in Scotland for left-handed golfers. I called them every day. I called every day to try to get an update, even though they said, hey, we're going to text you, and I never got texts. I never got an update. And luckily, I had somebody on that trip that had kind of recently also gone through what I went through, where something went missing. He said, oh, yeah, keep receipts. You can, there is a process where you charge when you buy stuff back to the airline because they're technically responsible for some of that money. And then, so I did that. I had to go, again, I flew through KLM. So KLM wasn't going to tell me this whenever I was on the phone with them, Chew. I had to go on the website, find out all the different processes of filing these claims. And then after 21 days, your luggage is considered lost. And then I got an additional $500 for them considering the luggage lost.
See, she usually puts an AirTag in there. But I don't think she did this time, which would have really helped because then obviously you could locate it.
See, but does that make it more frustrating? Because if you can locate it, and they'll be like, well, we can't find it.
Yeah.
And you could say, well, I see it.
Yeah.
It's here. That seems to me to be even more potentially maddening.
Yes, because there's nothing that... Is there something they could do? Probably.
Yeah.
Is there something they're going to do? Probably not.
Yeah. It's just another entry into everything sort of sucking and getting worse. And it certainly feels like airlines are pushing the logical limit of how far can we push customers before they're... I mean, it's like a necessity, so it's hard, but it seems like it's pretty much everyone's experiences is just getting worse and worse.
They ain't getting better.
No.
No.
And they're charging you more
we have
and
the
making it
technology
worse.
now to be able to do that. So, would you have... Gabe.
Yeah.
Would you have rather had your golf clubs lost as opposed to your luggage?
No, luggage all day.
Serious?
All day. Those golf clubs, although, I mean, I do, because some of the pants that I had in there were one of one. So I'm glad I got the pants back because, again, I don't even know if I could ever make them again because the company that I use doesn't make the golf clothes anymore that I got, my Horicon Marshman pants or my ESPN Wisconsin pants made. So I'm glad I eventually got those back because, again, I had given up. Because the 21 days had come and gone. They had actually given me the $500 additional for it being gone. And after 21 days, they basically say, we stopped looking.
I'd love to talk to an airport employee about that process of when you just randomly find, like, where is the bag and why is nobody knowing where it needs to be going? That's the part that confuses. Like, where does it go?
So
I mean, you would think it'd be in a lost bag area, right? Where all the lost bags.
Well,
and you have barcodes on them, so you just
it's got the tag.
Not that hard.
And again, so the crazy part for me was when I went to Scotland, we were staying in St. Andrews, and then we went over to a different part, and we went to North Berwick in Scotland. So they had initially told me when I lost my luggage and I went to the counter, we've got 4 flights a day that come in from Amsterdam. I bet it's going to be here either later today. Worst case scenario, it's here tomorrow morning. I gave them the address. They were going to deliver it to me.
Yeah.
And then finally, I got a hold of them again as we were on the bus going to the other place. And they're like, oh, yeah, that's going to show up today. I'm like, don't do that. Don't take it up. We're not there anymore. They're, okay. Well, you know what? We'll just send it back to Milwaukee. I bet it's there before you even get home.
Nice.
35 days after I lost it, it showed up in my front steps.
Oh. See, it wouldn't be a big deal to me because I don't have a problem wearing the same clothes every day. Matter of fact, I don't know why we don't just have the same clothes. Really. Make life so much easier.
You're already a cartoon character, and you just wish you were more of a cartoon character.
I'm just saying. I mean, there's guys at the gym.
You should go Winnie the Pooh mode. Just shirt.
That wear the exact same things every day, which is smart, Because I have good workout clothes that mesh and look good and stuff, and bad ones.
You realize the people who wear the same thing every day, they have multiple of the same thing. It's not the same exact thing.
No, I know. Yeah. I think it's a good idea.
Do want to give a shout out to Katrina on the Carlos Talk at text line 800-990-3776. She has traveled with ashes, and yes, you carry those on. There is a document that you need to have with them.
Oh, okay.
So we got the answers.
Okay.
We're educational. We're helping the people.
Yes.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. More in 2 minutes.
Your state, your teams, your ESPN. The ESPN Wisconsin app. Find the ESPN Wisconsin app in the Apple or Android app stores today. More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Got some backups on northbound 4394 coming out right around the Plainfield curve all the way up to Lincoln. We've also got eastbound 94 heavy from 76th Street to 35th, westbound slow from 35th all the way to Hawley Road. More delays west of Highway 100 towards the county line. We've also got northbound on 41 backing up from just south of Swan Boulevard all the way to Burleigh. Traffic is brought to you by Glenroy, now hiring. As the packaging industry rapidly grows, so does Glenroy. Apply today at glenroy.com/careers. That's GLENROY.com/careers. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Mostly sunny. High of 65 at the lakefront, 75 inland tonight. Chance of rain or storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 44. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Don't let a busted garage door get you down. Call my friends at Geist today. For 70 years, Geist has been the trusted garage door authority in Wisconsin. With brands like CHI and LiftMaster, they have doors for every budget and will even build custom designs to get your exact needs. For swift and reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's GEIS doors.com. You can also visit their amazing showroom in Brookfield, featuring hundreds of doors and openers and their custom design room.
Don't think twice. Call Geist.
Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center is ready to slip someone into a green jacket. The next tournament of the season is here, and there's $1,000 in cash prizes. Hey, ESPN Milwaukee, this is Gary Ellison, inviting you to a two-man scramble at Georgia Golf Club, all played on Wisconsin Indoor Golf Center's spacious, state-of-the-art simulators. Sign up now at wisconsinindoorgolfcenter.com. It's just $120 per team, and all teams must compete their round by March 31st. Who's walking away with the cash, and who's earning that green jacket?
Hey, this is Brad Nortman from KBN. Tune in to Kyle Bruston Nortman every day from 2 to 5, WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station.
The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamara. Here's Jen Latta.
Just putting a bow on Chewy's lost luggage story. Justin in Jacksonville on the Carlos Talk and text line 800-990-3776 actually had my luggage lost twice. One time coming back from Green Bay, the other to Columbus, Ohio to start a new job. I think it's more of someone took the wrong bag and not return it. At least, I don't know. I feel like I usually get to, if I'm checking luggage, which I do on most of the trips I take because I got to check my golf clubs, I feel like I always get to the carousel before it starts. So I'm pretty aware of what's coming off. And I will say this. If you have not had this happen to you, there is not a lonelier feeling than when you are standing there waiting for your luggage to come out and the carousel stops.
But I've done it. I've taken the wrong bag before, Gabe.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, this isn't mine.
Which is why you should always throw some identification on.
Either get a very
bags.
unique looking.
Yep.
Or throw some tag on it that will give you a signal.
It's honestly one of the best things I've ever gotten from the Vegas golf trip that I do through the WPGA every year. They gave us a bag tag one year, like for your luggage. So it says, Las Vegas WPGA's got some dice on one side, and then it has my name on the other. So it's just I throw that on the carry-on and poof. Perfect. Or throw that on the checked luggage, and you're good to go.
I still have mine from when we had bags or checked bags from the Super Bowl.
Do you use it, or is it just kind of?
Yeah, no, I keep it on a bag.
Hell yeah. That's sick. That's awesome.
It's pretty cool. Probably going to get stolen now, but it's pretty cool.
I think you're going to notice somebody trying to rip off a Mark Chmura tag at the airport, but maybe not. So it's been, look, I think this week of opening baseball has been fantastic. Like, baseball has some real momentum going forward. The way the season ended last year, a dramatic 7th game in the World Series, the World Baseball Classic was fantastic. And I got to give credit, as much as I don't want to, because he's probably about to ruin baseball. But the ABS thing, man, from Rob Manfred, it's fantastic. I did not imagine, Chew, this going this well.
Yeah, it does. It's smooth.
Well, and not only is it smooth, fans get behind it. So yeah. I don't know if you saw what happened in Cincinnati over the weekend.
I didn't.
So C.B. Buckner, who the only reason anybody knows his name is because he's, well, not a very good umpire, but he's made some bad calls behind the plate before. C.B. Buckner was behind home plate in Cincinnati, and somebody that we've talked about.
I just want to give context because I ran into this information since we discussed talking about this.
Yep.
He missed 26 calls in that game.
Yep.
26.
In one game.
One game.
That's time to retire.
So 26 bad calls.
Uh-huh.
I did see that umpire report card.
It's a tough one.
Tough one. Wow. So he had 8 challenges. The Red Sox used both challenges right away, lost both challenges, and could have used some later for some of those bad calls that Josh is referring to. But he had 6 of 8 calls overturned on challenges, including this hilarious sequence. Just listen to the whole thing. Listen to the crowd, because this was Eugenio Suarez, a new member of the Cincinnati Reds, on back-to-back pitches, challenging calls.
Got him looking, challenge, immediate tap of the helmet. The Reds runners all hold.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. That's out of the zone. The AB continues.
Look at that. Listen to that roar of the crowd.
The one thing they've done so well is broadcasting it and showing it on the screen and how quick it happens.
Yes.
It is very snap. You're not wasting much time. And yeah, it's become a thing that people are rooting for. And then this second one is unbelievable.
So this is the very next pitch, Chew. The very next pitch.
And mind you, he's now called him out just looking in back-to-back pitches. He's called strikeouts back-to-back pitches.
Now the 2-2. Called strike 3, tap the helmet again. He says it's off the plate away.
Batter's challenging the pitch.
Here we go. The loudest cheers of the game. The Reds have hit 2 homers. Come on, back-to-back challenges.
Listen to the context that the announcer gave for the Reds TV broadcast at the end. The Reds had hit 2 home runs in that game, and the loudest pop came from the second overturned challenge.
The loudest cheers of the game.
I mean, do they get graded and potentially suspended a game or two if they're so bad?
The problem is, Chew, like, everyone's known, like, C.B. Buckner or Angel Hernandez, who's now retired. Yeah. Like, those guys had just the worst strike zones forever. But we like to talk about how powerful the players' union is. I think the umpires' union in baseball is even better.
Yeah.
Because these guys still have jobs and are getting, pretty high-profile jobs.
But do you think this ABS system is just getting us closer to calling balls and strikes the whole time? Electronic umps.
I don't think so, because of the way it's played out and the way of the human factor and being able to either the umpire gets to be proven right or proven wrong. Like, it adds an aspect where, other than a cost-saving effort, why not having that little cat and mouse game that's going on that we got to listen to there of a pretty famously bad umpire?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if he's getting it wrong and you're on back-to-back pitches getting rung up and then saying, no, I'm not going anywhere. And, like, in the past, umpires used to be able to kind of stick it to guys if they show them up on a call. Or they're going to call that third strike if it's even remotely close. Can't do that anymore. Because I'm just going to keep challenging you as you keep getting it wrong.
Don't you think their union would fight, though? Because it is embarrassing to the umpires, especially if you're missing as many as...
I guess
suck it up.
Yeah, I guess what grounds do you have to stand on?
Better?
It's embarrassing us how bad we are? Like, what is that negotiation?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure NFL refs, though, if they grade out very, very poorly...
I do know that MLB, they do grade out their umpires. I don't know what it results in or if there's any issues, but I do know that they're like Hernandez, I believe, thought he should have gotten better offers in the World Series, and they said no, and we can prove that you're not.
Well, because he sued.
Yes.
He sued Major League Baseball because he thought because he was Hispanic, he was being held back because of that.
And then
wasn't there a rift
and Discovery, it came out that no, you're just a bad umpire.
But I thought there was a rift between him and Joe Torre, who was in charge of that or something.
I'm sure.
No?
I mean, probably. Yeah. I mean, when you're that bad of an umpire and Joe Torre managed forever, like, I'm sure they had some incidents over, from time to time. But again, so that wasn't just it. Like, there was one I saw over the weekend. So Randy Arozarena, who now plays for the Seattle Mariners, it's a 3-2 count. He gets rung up, but he starts he taps his helmet, and he was so confident that he was going to win. Like, he steps out of the batter's box and starts taking off all of his stuff to start going down to first base. He like taking off the elbow pad and the shin guard like you do when you walk. No, it was ball 4.
Oh, it was.
So he got rung up, and he was confident. Nope, ball 4, tap it. And he's like, he was so confident he was going to win the challenge, and he did. There was a rage bait over an injection in the Twins game against I think they were playing the Orioles, where they were the manager didn't think that the pitcher had challenged in time, but the pitcher clearly did. And you've got one announcer yelling, "You can't fight the robots."
Yes.
Like this has led to some high quality entertainment in Major League Baseball, and again, it's added an entertainment factor to the game. Mm-hmm. Which is why I don't think it's going anywhere, Chew. Because, again, most of the umpires are still getting outside of the 26 calls missed by our boy C.B. Buckner.
Yeah.
Like, most of these umpires are pretty good anyway.
Yeah.
They're getting 95% of the calls right.
I'm amazed on how these hitters know that strike zone.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, millimeters.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
there are some, and you'll probably see some as you watch a little bit more, but I saw clips of it where the ball is like barely touching the zone.
Part of the seam is just barely clipping the zone. That's a strike.
But I'm trying to think of anything when I played that I was that dialed in at. Which is different because, like if you're going to block a DN or a linebacker, it's a moving target.
I can tell you exactly what it is. It's
what?
It's you being able to run routes at the right exact distance without really thinking about it at a certain
time. Or know how much time you have.
Yes.
Like the timing that the internal clock that you have. Oh, I got bumped off the line. No, I've got to convert
you're
this
probably
deep
right
the
there.
route.
You could run your routes that you knew for your plays probably in your sleep. And it was perfect precision to where you needed to be.
And then we weren't a sight check team, and what I mean, if they blitz, protection, everyone should be accounted for. But there's times you're like, okay, this guy's blitzing. I only got about a second and a half to break this thing off because Brett ain't going to have time to throw it.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a little different,
Chew. Clock, probably the internal clock.
So it's a little different because obviously they're standing there. They know what the zone is. But, the internal clock you need, especially operating in some of the traffic you had to as a tight end, that's what the equivalent is.
And then when quarterbacks, put that thing on a dime under pressure, it's just like, or a long pass. When you hit a guy in stride 70 yards down the field, and it's like, okay.
Well, Brewers Joey Ortiz had a great relay on Saturday, knocking a guy down at home plate. Oh, yeah. It was a thing of beauty.
Money.
Oh, it's one of those plays where, like, he was out by so much, it's almost like a force out, Chew. Like, because the throw was just that on the money. Like, William Contreras didn't have to move.
And it feels crazy to say this, but back to the ABS thing. The last two major rule changes with the pitch clock and the ABS now have been such absolute home runs.
Yes.
For the interest, the speed, and the gaining popularity of baseball, because it was waning for a while.
Yeah.
Just the way the game has changed, and they've all been like, I was nervous about what is a pitch clock going to look like, how is it going to, and now I don't even notice it for the most part.
No.
Other than seeing the clock in the outfield when I'm like at the game.
Yeah.
But just the speed of the game. I mean, even expanding the base and having more steals and that being a part of the game now again. Like, they've done a really good job, as much as I don't want to give Rob Manfred credit.
Yeah, because he's about to shut down baseball. Like, he's built up all this momentum, and now they're just going to...
Yes, it is...
You don't think they'll figure it out?
No.
What makes you think that they're going to figure it out?
Yeah, that was a dumb thing. Sorry.
No, that's fine. If you've got reason for hope, please share with the class, because I will take anything.
They have so much momentum right now because they've overtaken the NBA as far as popularity.
Oh yeah, In terms of the World Series ratings, the World Baseball Classic stuff, they're in a really good spot. And honestly, Chew, I didn't think it was going to be, and I said this when it happened, when the Brewers announced Brewers TV. I didn't think it was going to be that big of a difference. Because there were still, the same people, and we heard the Levering call, and BA's going to be back there, and Rock, and working in all the different people. Sophia, our friend Sophia Minnert's still a part of those broadcasts. So I didn't think it was going to be that big of a difference. Like, they had a drone. They had different camera shots.
Yeah,
if you watched the Brewers game at all over the first 3 games on Brewers TV, like, the production value's gone up, too.
Oh, it's the way they had the drone outside of the stadium, but you're looking through the glass. And the batter and the cut. Yeah, I mean, it's...
Like, even that's gotten better with baseball taking over. And I know Mark Attanasio had said that they're taking a haircut because they're not getting as much money. But I think in the long term, it's going to be better for baseball because baseball knows how to produce these things. And they're doing a great job. And that's why I'm going to enjoy this as long as I can. Because...
Good stuff.
Baseball just can't help but screw things up. But... Brewers are off to a 3-0 start. They play tonight against Tampa Bay. Speaking of screwing things up, the NFL, apparently they didn't learn a lesson the last time around. We dive into more of that coming up next. But nothing goes better with buzzer beaters, and we got one yesterday, than a cold Yuengling beer. Whether you're following your brackets or just in it for the snacks, Yuengling, the go-to game day beer. If you're hosting a watch party, stock up on Yuengling Traditional Lager or try Flight by Yuengling. It's the next generation of light beer. Look, It was nice weather this weekend. I had the grill firing up, and I'm a guy, I like to have one when I'm grilling. So, of course, the one thing that I'm going to have while I'm grilling, I'm going to have a Yuengling. It's a great beer, great hoops, the perfect excuse to take that long lunch break. Yuengling, it's the oldest brewery in America, family-owned and operated for 6 generations. DG Yuengling & Son, Pottsville, PA. Enjoy responsibly.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
All right, we got eastbound 94 still backing up a bit from about Hawley Road all the way through to 35th. Westbound about the same, 35th Street past Mitchell Boulevard. Northbound 41 heavy from just before Mayfair Road up to Burleigh. We've also got northbound 4394 coming out of the Plainfield curve. Going to be a bit slow all the way up past Oklahoma Avenue. Traffic is brought to you by the Neal Group. John Neal and his team know how to minimize your taxes to keep more money in your pocket. Visit nealgroup.net to learn more. That's nealgroup.net. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny. It'll be cooler by the lake, a high of 65 at the lakefront, 75 inland. Tonight, chance of rain and storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 44. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
On this show, it's always football season.
I'm not overly concerned because it seems as if Green Bay's not overly concerned.
Wilde and Tausch, presented by Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Everybody over there feels like this team was there. We got short-circuited with injuries. We have the right staff, we have the right people, and we have the right players. We just need to stay healthy, and we'll be champions.
Weekdays from 9 to noon on 94.5 ESPN, ESPN Milwaukee's YouTube channel, and the ESPN Wisconsin app.
Thinking about buying or building a new home? Start with a mortgage pre-approval from Great Midwest Bank and experience a state of tranquility. At Great Midwest Bank, we offer fast approvals and flexible options with experienced loan officers who understand the local market, because they live here too. Whether you're breaking ground for new construction or buying that dream home just around the corner, we'll guide you every step of the way. Bank with confidence and start your journey at GreatMidwestBank.com. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
March into big savings at Exterior Pros and Baths. Refresh your home this season with energy-efficient windows, durable roofing, beautiful new siding, or a stunning bath remodel and get $3,000 off your project. That's $3,000 in instant savings during their March savings event. But this offer won't last long. Call 262-800-4274 or visit extpros.com today. Exterior Pros and Baths. Big savings done right.
Hey, y'all. It's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. I spent years on the mound giving everything I had, and now I feel every inning in my knees, back, and shoulders. But I didn't want surgery, and I sure didn't want to be sidelined. That's why I turned to QC Kinetics.
QC Kinetics Medical Director Dr. Christie and his team use regenerative treatments that help your body heal itself. No surgery, no meds, and no downtime.
Whether you're teeing off at the club or chasing the grandkids around, QC Kinetics helps you get back to doing what you love.
Call QC Kinetics now and schedule your free consultation. Natural joint pain relief with real results.
Don't let the pain slow you down. I didn't, and neither should you. My friends at QC Kinetics, they'll take care of you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation. QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-240-2298. That's 414-240-2298. 414-240-2298.
In 1987, the Bucks took on the world and changed basketball forever.
At stake, basketball supremacy in the United States.
Bucks versus the World, narrated by Charlie Behrens, is the new season of Behind the Bucks podcast, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. It's the untold story of the 1987 McDonald's Open, when the Bucks became the first NBA team to face the Soviet Union. Listen now on Bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, the ESPN Wisconsin app, and wherever you get podcasts.
It's Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
A freaking catapult attached to his right hip. Like, I just made that up. A catapult.
That was good.
I kind of liked it. I was rolling with it, Rob.
Like a slingshot? What's the use of?
I'm calling him old catapult leg from here on out.
On 94.5 ESPN.
It's a Great Midwest Bank Mortgage Monday on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Planning a home project or need added flexibility? Tap into your home's value with a HELOC from Great Midwest Bank. Visit greatmidwestbank.com.
Now, it's always hard whenever labor negotiations are going on to know who's trying to negotiate in good faith, bad faith. And I think it becomes even more complicated when you start talking about officials associations negotiating with leagues, right? Because, with just taking the NFL, for example, the NFLPA, we now know J.C. Treader is the executive director of the NFLPA. However you feel about it is how you feel about it. But he is going to make comments to the media, and things are going to happen whenever they're negotiating the next CBA. But the officials... The NFL Referees Association has their deal expire on May 31st, so about 2 months from now, Chew.
Mm-hmm.
And the NFL, again, a story that Kevin Seifert, Keelan Kaler have been working out over at ESPN.com, have people in the league telling them, we're so close to expiration and so far apart on economics, unless an act of God gets involved. So they are already expecting to start to hire replacement officials from college level, all levels of college, right? Because not every, guys who are Division I, officials, maybe they want to stay there. So some, they're going to hire some from there, D2, D3. And it seems like, and again, according to the NFL, because I know our guy Shefty, and we could talk with him more about this this week whenever he joins us. I'm not quite sure when that's going to be because he's busy in Arizona as well with the owners' meetings. Seems like the officials are asking for a lot of money, and the NFL doesn't want to give them that much money, and they think that they're being taken advantage of by the Referees Association. But the one thing I do know, Chew, is we can't do replacement refs again. We just can't do it. It was a disaster the last time in 2012, and I know that was 14 years ago at this point, but we can't do it again. You cannot have these officials decide outcomes of games because that's what happened in 2012.
Well, let me ask you, Are they entitled to a bump? I think they are, because the NFL's making money hand over fist. And we're still technically part of the union, even though we're not in it. I'm talking myself.
Sure.
Because there's benchmarks that, and this part of it is negotiated in the CBA every 10 years. There's benchmarks that if the NFL hits, then they bump our pension up.
Okay.
And they bumped it up quite a bit because the NFL is making gobs of money. So I'd like to know how much they're at or what percentage of a raise they want, but I certainly think they're entitled to one. I mean, they're not the game, but they're a big part of the game.
Now, here's what I'm in favor of. Making the NFL officials full-time. Now, I know there are some officials, Chew, that don't want to be full-time because they have pretty lucrative jobs elsewhere, and they're double-dipping, right? So by becoming a full-time official, they'd probably be taking a haircut. They'd be taking, a little bit of a pay cut when it comes to the overall money that they're making. According to this article on ESPN.com, the average NFL official earned $385,000 in 2025. So that was the average NFL official. That's a good amount of money. And if you make them full-time, that gets bumped up. You got benefits involved. I know that there's more of a cost. I guess I'm at the point where I don't care. If you don't want to be a full-time ref, then that's fine. Then don't be a full-time ref. Go do your other job. We'll hire people who want to be full-time and want to be better and are working on this thing year-round.
I just don't know what they would do full-time, though. Like this time of year, what the hell are they going to do? Watch film? I
mean, they can have different camps and whatnot to work on, their fundamentals and footwork and that sort of thing.
I mean, I get it in season because I would think officials do have to watch film and things like that and kind of get a feel for what type of offense or what type of defense, or if are they going to be blitzing a lot and are they going to be doing, but I can tell you, like everyone knew Hercules Hockley.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
He was a lawyer.
Yep.
And I think he owned the law firm, so I guarantee.
Oh yeah, the amount of money,
more than $385,000 from the law firm.
And then he's making $385 on top of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, so that's why a lot of these officials don't want to be full time. But man, I would just feel better about the direction of the NFL if they were.
But it's like anything else. I mean, these officials officiate NFL games because they're the best. It'd be like, hey, let's throw Joshy in the Indianapolis 500 and see how he does. How do you think? How do
you feel about open wheel racing, Joshy? You think you could do it?
I believe in my ability to drive. Ask Evan Cohen. He says I'm a crazy fast driver, but I don't think I'd come in anything other than crashed. I don't know how many laps I make.
Yeah.
I'd be out there.
Because it's not just you. It's the other people around you going 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I told you guys, I remember, I forget what year it was, being hurt, sitting on the sidelines, watching the game from that vantage point. And I'm like, you got to be insane. The game is so fast.
Yeah.
So fast.
Which is why I'd like to see some of these officials, too, like, again, get on workout regimens. And because you got to be moving quick.
No, I know. I wonder what the average age is, because there's some codgers out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And again, to be out on an NFL field, there is a certain element, and they've gotten rid of some of the dangerous element because they've removed in the NFL the umpire from the middle of the field.
Which I broke a guy's nose one time in Pittsburgh. I'll never forget. Because I expect him, he's supposed to step up to 4 yards.
Yep.
Because most of my shortest routes were 5. And one time he wouldn't step up. So I'm like, I can't go over the top of him. I'm too deep.
Yep.
So then he stepped up. And I put not on purpose, but I couldn't stop. I was flying, and it was man-to-man coverage. The crown of my helmet right in his nose. And
you're a large human being. It takes a little bit, again, just the laws of physics. It's going to take you a little bit to stop and slow down. You're not going to be able
But I'm
to
not going to lie. I liked him there because I could use him as a barrier at times if I knew what he was doing.
Yeah, if you knew what he was doing, you could use that to your advantage.
Yeah.
What was tougher for you, starting or stopping?
That's a lot of beef to slow down. But it's also a lot of beef to get
going. Yeah, that's why it was a great question from Josh.
We've all been behind an 18-wheeler going, all right, let's get her moving.
I mean, once it's cruising, you're fine. But the whole starting and slowing down thing becomes an issue.
Probably the get going.
But it just kind of seems it seems like they're nowhere near on the same page.
But
So I think we have to maybe get used to the idea of a replacement official.
The part that's concerning to me is the seeming disinterest from the NFL to even really make counteroffers or to negotiate in good faith.
Yeah.
And that is going to be a major, hang.
Well, did I see that they showed up? The Officials Association counteroffered, but the people who showed up to negotiate were not authorized to do anything but accept the offer that they had put out there. They couldn't make a counteroffer. So the official, it was supposed to be like a 2-day negotiating session, and the referees just walked away saying, well, no, if you're not even going to send somebody that can negotiate with us, what the hell are we doing? That's negotiating in bad faith.
I'm reading that the NFL offered them a 6-year deal with raises every year of 6.45%.
Yep, that's from the Kalen Kaler article over at ESPN.com. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what they got to be asking for, double that, you think? Which I think is a little ridiculous.
Probably. But again, if you're not sending somebody who can actually negotiate and the only thing that they can do, is accept that offer...
I don't know what the line for me would be on such an important position with the amount of money and assets that are involved. They're certainly not as important as the players.
Yep.
But
let me ask
they're
you this.
extremely important to all the gambling aspects, to team a wrong call can mean a team's in the playoffs or not.
Correct.
And having guys that are unqualified do it. So at what point with the amount of money we know the NFL is making would be too much for you? Because I don't know where that line is, because I bet it's probably a lot more than what they actually make.
That one game, I'd have to go back and look, but the one game that it cost the Packers when they lost to Seattle in the Fail Mary, I think they would have been hosting, maybe not even San Francisco, because that was the year that they beat the Vikings and then at home and then went on to San Francisco and Colin Kaepernick ran wild. Mm-hmm. That game would have been at home. It might not have even been against the 49ers.
Really? Do you think this will affect, if they do have replacement refs, you think this will change on the way people gamble? Because they're not going to leave it in the hands of the referees?
No, because
you don't think that'll affect gambling at all?
No, because you can't be predictive in it. If I knew there was a Lance Easley that was going to happen every single game, I probably wouldn't bet on it. But as we saw last time, it was fine. You saw bad calls, but then there was the really bad one that changed everything. And that's sort of the nightmare scenario for you, and you hoping not be on the wrong side of that.
And then they're also trying to pass this thing that if they have replacement officials, then they can come in and overturn calls with the sky judge. And yeah, exactly.
We're early in the game, though.
It's getting later and later.
The hiring process is starting.
Yeah,
it's not great. Not a great situation here in the NFL. You also know what's not great?
What's that?
The Bucs. Officially eliminated from postseason consideration. We dive into them. Coming up next, Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Eastbound on National Avenue, right about at Brewers Boulevard. We've got the right lane blocked with an incident, so just watch out for that. Onto the freeway, though. Eastbound 94 slowing down from 60th Street all the way through to 35th. We got the westbound side backing up out of the stadium interchange towards Hawley as well. Northbound 41 backing up from Mayfair Road up past Burleigh. We've got northbound 4394 slowing from Howard Avenue up past Oklahoma Avenue. Planning a home project or need added flexibility? Tap into your home's value with a HELOC from Great Midwest Bank. Visit greatmidwestbank.com. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, mostly sunny, a cooler by the lake, a high of 65 at the lakefront, 75 inland. And then tonight, chance of rain or storms, mostly cloudy, a low of 44. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
How are things at Kessler's Greenfield, Kelly?
Fantastic. I heard you have an idea for springtime.
I love spring.
I have a big collection of new life to show you.
New life is a spring thing.
Show us. I call it crosses and clovers.
These are amazing.
Well done, Kelly.
These are stunningly unique.
Kelly, the surface of this 4-leaf clover is fantastic. What's it made of?
Sarah, the surface of that lucky 4-leaf clover is made of crushed black diamonds.
Wow. I'm buying this one. How much?
$185. In yellow gold vermeil, it's just $270. This cross, $90.
And these initials pendants?
These are $60.
Clovers, crosses, and personalized pendants.
And a leprechaun that says they're magically delicious.
Sarah, that's a breakfast cereal.
Kelly, you've done well.
Extremely well.
Extremely very well. Happy springtime, everyone.
To find the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Game Night, so for Events by Design. Events like appreciation parties and retreats can go a long way towards boosting morale and retaining top talent. Events by Design is your go-to creative partner for employee events that truly make an impact. They help leaders retain top talent by making their people feel seen, valued, and celebrated. The creative team at Events by Design does all the planning and production, making sure things not only look great, but also work. Make a smart investment in your culture today. Search online, Events by Design. They design, you party.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because we know you love working weekends. If it means working on your dream home, both inside and out. And we're here to help protect those dreams so you can enjoy peace of mind. Save up to 40% when you bundle home and auto. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products, pricing, and availability vary based on where you purchase insurance and by state. Some exclusions apply. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You can answer the question.
What's the question?
Can the Packers win without Aaron Jones on Sunday?
Yes. Will you stop? You know what he is? He's like the little devil on the shoulder.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Check out our Infinity Exteriors Twitter poll. Refresh your home with roofing, siding, or windows, all backed by their lifetime workmanship warranty. InfinityExteriors.com. Over on Twitter, if your favorite team loses, do you root for the teams in your conference or division? That is up right now at Jen Gabe Chewy on Twitter. And we knew we were heading this way, Chew. Slowly making our way, slowly making the march toward it. But the Bucks have been eliminated from any sort of chance of making the playoffs after their loss to the Clippers yesterday afternoon, 127-113. The Bucks had only 8 healthy players available to them yesterday, with no point guard. Did not have a point guard healthy in the roster.
Okay.
Started Pete Nance, Ousmane Dieng, Jericho Sims, Gary Trent Jr., Andre Jackson Jr., Cormac Ryan, A.J. Green, Taurean Prince came off the bench. So all 8 players played, but that's just where we're at right now. They've officially been eliminated from any sort of chance of making the postseason, officially ending their streak of making the playoffs. And for the first time since the 15-16 season, they are out of the playoffs.
I'm usually a big drama guy. I embrace drama, but I'm done with drama here. Let's just part ways, get as much as we can for him. Thank you for your time here. Good luck. But
what if he signs? What if he decides he wants to stick around? What if he signs?
Well, then sign him, but chances of that happening are probably the same as baseball being played next year.
That's a good point.
According to you. So
good point.
I don't know. I'm dramaed out here.
You're tapped out? You just want a fresh start everywhere for the Bucks?
Yeah, because I mean, you still at 80-20?
Yeah. Yeah, because again, I just leave the possibility with some of the assets that they have that their management team, that their general manager and John Horst is going to be able to pull some crazy thing off. Again, you're hamstrung because of the Damian Lillard stuff. And now you wonder if they would have done the Damian Lillard thing if they had known that this is the way it played out. But I think you had to take that risk.
I just don't want it to turn contentious. You know what I mean?
I don't think it is. I don't think it's going to be contentious.
You don't think it'll get to that point?
No, I think it's... Again, if we are to believe Wes Edens, and I feel like, again, him saying, he just said the quiet part out loud, right, yeah. Chew? Because that was always what was going to happen. Either he signs and he's here, or he doesn't and we have to trade him. And I think it is going to be that simple.
Yeah, but what if Giannis doesn't bless the trade? Then it could turn ugly.
Yeah, then it could turn ugly. But, I mean, but again, like that's going to be up to whatever team tries to get him. Right, like he's got to be willing to sign an extension there, and
so is he shut down for the year?
Yeah,
he's done.
I mean, I can't imagine it.
So when will this re-spike? This summer?
This summer. Yeah, I mean, maybe there might be a little bit of spike when they have the draft lottery because the Bucks will obviously be in there. You know, so maybe there might be some talk there once we know officially whatever pick the Bucks have. And
by some miracle chance they get like the second pick.
Mm-hmm.
Does that change his mind, or you think his mind is?
I mean, maybe it could. It's certainly possible that it could, but this is a pretty good draft class.
No, I know, but this.
But even with a rookie, like there's going to be an adjustment period, right? Yeah. But if you get one of these really good rookies and you go, oh, maybe in 2 years we're going to be really good with Giannis. I mean, it could potentially if the Bucks get lucky. I mean, the top 3 picks all are going to be pretty good. Mm-hmm. I've got questions about Darren Peterson out of Kansas. I think everybody does at this point. But you know, AJ DeBanza and is good out of BYU. Cameron Boozer out of Duke. Those are going to be the top 3 in some order.
Was this team that he put together? You know, Horst put together. Just never came together.
Yeah, it just never came together. I mean, there were some obvious health things with Giannis and, you know, Kevin Porter Jr. And if they would have stayed healthy for the whole season, are they probably a play-in team? Yeah, probably. But they didn't stay healthy and it didn't come together, and that's just not the reality of the situation. Even if it did, Chew, I don't know if that sways Giannis if they're the 7th seed, right? Yeah. I don't know if that sways Giannis to sign the extension when it comes time to do that.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I don't want drama, so send him somewhere, and best of luck to him, and wish you the best.
How soon after the final game of the season does Doc announce his retirement?
Oh, you think he's going to retire? You think that report's going to be true? From Stephen A?
He certainly can't be coach anymore. That's untenable.
I'm guessing, I mean, do you think he does it in Philly? Because their last game's in Philly, April 12th. Masters Sunday at 5 o'clock Central.
Does he announce it before the final game?
That this is going to be his last game? Maybe.
Is it his last because it's either retire or get fired?
Sort of seems like
well,
it.
But here's the thing. Like, if we think that Giannis is gone, do we really think that Doc wants to be around for a rebuild?
No, but if you retire, you're probably not paid, right? As a coach?
Sure. Correct.
Oh, so why would he retire? Make him fire, you know. Right?
Yeah, because you want to save face and you don't want to get fired.
Yeah, I'm sure if you can negotiate a little something there.
Yeah.
In terms of we go our separate ways here. I say retire. I get a little bit of the money that I would have gotten owed had I gotten fired, and I don't look like I got fired.
Yeah, and the Bucks don't have to pay the entire contract, and then now they're not paying 2 coaches. They just give you a little something as a parting wish, or it's a reshift in the organization, and he's going to be a special advisor to the front office, right? Like one of those positions.
I've seen those moves before.
Why is it so hard to find a coach in basketball? Seems like football does it better than most.
I think there are a lot of good coaches in basketball. I don't think there are a lot of great coaches. I think there's a lot of guys that are just really solid.
Yeah.
You know? And there are certainly really bad ones that can impact you as well, but I just think that on the scale of, like, I think there's just the meaty curve of good coaches is where most guys live in the NBA.
Like, how many are elite? Like Spoelstra, you say?
Ooh, okay. I would say Spoelstra. I would say Mazzulla in Boston. I would say Kerr in Golden State.
Yeah. What about the guy in Denver? Malone? What is his name?
Yeah, Malone. Yeah. I mean, like, he was really close to getting fired.
Yeah. Well, because he's a little bit out there.
Yeah, because I mean, again, he's a good. I think he's one of those good coaches. He's probably in the upper echelon of good. Like him and Bud, I think, live in the same neighborhood.
Yeah.
Not great. So
there's
maybe those three.
Yeah.
Am I missing one? I don't think I'm missing one.
Knicks? No.
No, because they just hired their guy this year.
Yeah.
They just hired Mike Brown this year. I don't think I'm missing anyone looking at.
That's not a lot of.
Ty Lue. Ty Lue's a great coach.
Okay.
For the Clippers. So we'll push the list of 4. Yeah, a lot of guys just kind of live in that. We're pretty good. I mean, there's some younger coaches I think that have the possibility of potentially working up that way. Like Mark Daigneault might be good, but that OKC team's just stacked. But that's we can start the countdown. Chew. We've got less than 2 weeks. Masters Sunday is when this whole thing wraps up on April 12th.
All right. I won't be watching.
From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after an in-depth recap of every Bucks game, 6 minutes, no more, no less. It's Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. If you missed any of the game or just want to relive the biggest moments, Bucks in 6 provides game recaps every morning after. Tune in to the high-flying dunks from Giannis, deep threes from Miles Turner, and catch the comments post-game about what happened on the floor. Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now, bucks.com/plus, or on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
Make your next meal Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken. Right now, get a crispy chicken sandwich, regular or pepper jacked, for just $3.99. Feeding the crew? Grab an 8-piece bone-in fried chicken for only $9.99. And don't forget to dip it in Quick Trip's No Ordinary Chicken sauce. Short on time? Order ahead with the Quick Rewards app and make it fast. Stop in today for your No Ordinary Chicken. Crunch outside, tender inside. Only at Quick Trip.
Can you feel it? The thrill of witnessing a walk-off grand slam, a game-winning touchdown, a buzzer-beating 3. You know the feeling. And there's only one place to experience that raw exhilaration, and it's the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Man, what it would have been like to be at the Potawatomi Sportsbook yesterday for all of the baseball action. You can catch it all in a supreme space. You know about the drinks. You know about the atmosphere. You know about the monster video wall. So what are you waiting for? Get over to the Potawatomi Sportsbook. More information available online. Must be 21 years old to enter the casino.
Evan Cohen here. In life, as in sports, the pros make it look easy. That's why pro golfers like Jason Day, Ben Griffin, and Patton Kazire trust the pros in lawn care. True Green. They have the experience and expertise to give you a lawn worthy of the PGA Tour. And since True Green does the work for you, you get more free time, or more tee times. So stop stressing over your lawn and start loving it. Sign up now at TrueGreen.com, because nobody makes it easier to get a golf course quality lawn than True Green, the official lawn care treatment provider of the PGA Tour.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print, They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
At Citizens Bank, we believe banking is more than transactions. It's about being recognized and remembered. It's feeling like you're understood and supported along the way. It's the small stuff that says, we know you. Because when your bank gets you, banking just feels better. Citizens Bank. Bank where you belong. Learn more at citizensbankwi.bank/belong. Citizens Bank is member FDIC.
Step inside the game you love with the NBA app. Tap to watch every game as it's happening.
Jalen Brunson does it again!
And never miss a moment of the jaw-dropping action. Get closer to the players than anywhere else. Follow the latest schedules, scores, and stats. Keep up with every story from across the league. And with NBA ID, it's all personalized to you. The game lives here. Download today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
There's a lot of sodas now that are prebiotic sodas
They
as
don't
well.
work. They're called poop.
No,
They're really called poop, I think. You buy them on Amazon.
I thought you were going to stop talking.
You got a lot of rust in you. You know that?
On 94.5 ESPN.
The Lone Infinity Exteriors poll we've got up on Twitter today. If your favorite team loses to your teams from your conference or division, 80% of people saying no. There's a lot of people flying against you, Chew.
Why?
Because, again, it doesn't actually make your conference, division,
There's no
or whatever look
conference
better.
pride?
No, that's not a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
If I hate you all throughout the course of the year, I don't suddenly love you when it's the most important time of the year.
Oh, well, what about when it comes to the NFL? Do you want the NFC or the AFC to win the Super Bowl?
Indifferent.
Depends upon if I'm in a pool. That all depends. Like, so, for example, when we were talking about this before, we had somebody text in saying if UConn wins, he gets free haircuts for a year. So he's rooting for UConn.
Okay.
Yeah,
fair enough.
You know all about this.
think
How does it benefit me the most? That's what we're all interested in.
I think it makes your conference look like the best in whatever sport you're in.
Yeah, but, okay, so let's just take the Eagles 2 years ago.
Yes, sure.
That didn't help the Packers at all. That didn't make you, the Packers lost to the eventual Super Bowl champs. That make you feel any better about the Packers losing that game?
I want to
make you feel better about the Packers going forward? No.
I want to be a part of the dominant conference.
Yeah, but that's not a thing anymore. That was a thing when you played because the NFC had won, what was it, 13 or 14 in a row?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's not really a thing anymore. It kind of goes back and forth.
That's your generation's fault.
I think it's your generation's fault for not having a more
So
balanced
do you hate
conferences.
every single team in the Big Ten? I don't.
I mean, some I'm indifferent about. Like, do I have strong feelings about UCLA? Not really.
Don't think about Rutgers a whole lot.
You could say that about Indiana about 4 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, like I wasn't
like
rooting
Indiana winning. You didn't feel a little warm and fuzzy inside.
No, it was a great story. It doesn't change how I feel about the Badgers football program.
Yeah, I wanted them to win, but that had nothing to do with Big Ten. It was
a great story
and how they turned it around. Yeah, that's what I was interested in.
Okay, I don't know.
Josh, you just said that Tom Silverstein just came out with a new piece over at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel.
Yeah, this was interesting timing, I thought, especially with Matt LaFleur set to speak here in 45-ish minutes. He decided to, and it's all accurate, and we've talked about this before weeks ago when all these moves happened, that the Packers have enough cap space to make significant adds to the roster. And if they wanted to make any significant adds, they would have to have enough money to acquire somebody in trade, which the current number they have would fit most players' designation.
Yeah, but they have to re-sign Kraft, they have to re-sign Watson, and they're probably going to re-sign Wyatt.
Right, but we're breadcrumbing here. Why is one of the most plugged-in guys in Green Bay releasing this on a Monday morning at around 8:30?
Something going to happen?
I don't know.
I don't. But the timing is interesting. Like, yes,
Right.
why would you put that out there now? Again, and not in that.
Maybe it was just something he was meaning to get around to.
Yeah, very possible. But again, well, Hansel and Gretel in there.
Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
That's your younger generation is all conspiracy theorists. That's
Okay, JFK.
that was a myth.
Hildy and Tausch coming up next.
Just a little bit of a backup. Eastbound 94 from about Holly Road to about 35th Street. Westbound 94 is backing up just a little bit right in the stadium interchange itself.